The following is a Living with Victory encore presentation. Welcome to Living with Victory Ministries podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you by Teague's Grocery and Corner Cafe at 130 Soco Road in Maggie Valley, North Carolina. In a moment, we'll join Tony and Lorraine Giorgio with today's message.
There's a promise coming down that dusty road, and from his holy hand, healing virtue flows. He's got the keys to what you need. Death and hell he will defeat. Oh, there's a promise coming down that dusty road.
Teague's Grocery and Cafe, serving Maggie Valley since 1965, with delivery now available through Grubhub. Teague's is Maggie Valley's only grocery store. They're located at 130 Soco Road near the eastern entrance of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Drop in for breakfast or lunch at the Corner Cafe, featuring a variety of daily specials. Teague's Grocery and Cafe is open Sunday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Friday and Saturday from 7 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Call 828-926-1147. Teague's Grocery and Cafe, sponsors of Living with Victory.
Welcome to Living with Victory, proving life isn't about waiting for the storms to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain through perseverance and faith, above all, in Jesus Christ. That's what it's all about. Hey, couple of quick reminders. You can email us your comments at livingwithvictory@gmail.com, or you can call us at 828-926-4600. Later on, our announcer will have additional contact information for you and how you can donate to this ministry. And now, I want to say hi to my wonderful, wonderful sidekick, my wife, Lorraine, who has a continuation of last week's word of the day and our topic. How you doing?
Good. Hi, very well, thank you. I'm so happy that you're joining us for this important topic, because if we can get this enduring trials, or keep looking, don't quit now, get that in our spirits, oh, life would be so much easier and so much more joyful and peaceful. I'm reading again from James 1:2-5. Consider it wholly joyful, my brethren, whenever you are enveloped in or encounter trials of any sort or fall into various temptations. Be assured and understand that the trial and proving of your faith bring out endurance and steadfastness and patience. But let endurance and steadfastness and patience have full play and do a thorough work, so that you may be people perfectly and fully developed, with no defects, lacking in nothing. If any of you is deficient in wisdom, let him ask of the giving God, who gives to everyone liberally and ungrudgingly, without reproaching or fault finding, and it will be given him. Like I said, these scriptures are so important. We all go through trials. We all have our ups and our downs, and mostly downs lately. It just seems everybody's going through something, whether it's emotional, financial, spiritual, whatever. But if we could get these scriptures just from our head knowledge into our hearts and understand what Christ really wants for us, we would have better than gold.
God uses the trials to develop something that we admittedly do not yet possess. And this is what it's all about. He doesn't cause it. You have to remember that. There's two forces around. The evil one is still there, trying to bat you against the wall. But God is also there to show you that you can come through it. What we're doing with this series is we're bringing you stories of people mostly very well known. Beside what we've done in our lives, these people are up at the top of the scale of who's who, you might say, and yet they've come against some horrendous challenges. But the prescription here, the formula that's written, is that your trials equal testing, which is trying to test your faith and prove your faith. And the genuineness of your faith equals your perseverance. And your perseverance shows your steadfastness and your faithfulness. And that together equals maturity. Maturity to get through anything that comes. Last week, we were talking about Robert Schuller and his family through the book, Tough Times Never Last, but Tough People Do. At a time when they didn't need any more problems, here comes the worst of the worst. They watch this funnel cloud come along. Everything he's worked for, he's trying to keep, is wiped away. They walked over into the area where the building was, and there was this sign. It used to say, "Keep looking for Jesus." Well, that was destroyed. But the piece that was left sticking up at them was, "Keep looking." He never forgot that. Keep looking. And that's the important part of that whole thing. Whatever we're going through, you have to keep going. There's perseverance. There's faith. There's you saying, "I'm not just telling you I've got faith. I don't go there on Sunday and tell you how faithful I am in church. I live it every day." And in instances like this, there are a lot of people who can just walk away and say, who cares?
Well, because he was attuned to Christ and knew his ways and loved him all along, those two words he felt was God speaking to him to keep looking and to keep going, that eventually everything will be okay. Don't quit now. He decided to stay and do what he did to keep going. Most of the farmers were in that area left.
Yes, gone.
And there's the difference when you're not in tune with Christ.
Yep, your steadfastness, there it comes, and your faithfulness. See, steadfast faith, you stick it out. Here he is. You have to realize he's, well, our age, right? In his 60s. I can imagine looking at the top of the hill and seeing our place gone and everything. What do you do, man?
Has to be heartbreaking.
You know, even though he's a farmer, a hard worker, he said, tough times never last. He said, but tough people do. There was born a bestseller.
He also knew he didn't have to do this alone, that God was going to help him every step of the way. So he knew where his strength and his help were coming from.
And he wanted to pursue sticking it out and going for it. I mean, everybody around you thinks you're finished. You're down. You're out for the count. What does he do? He rebuilds everything. And within years, just a few years, I think it was 2 to 3 years later, the whole farm was rebuilt out of the scraps that he got from another farmer, a building, pulling nails out and redoing. And he rebuilds his life. He rebuilds his farmhouse.
He did it the hard way.
Oh,
he had to pull the nails out, straighten them out, and reuse what was already used.
The point is you need to keep dancing in the rain. You know, life has plenty of storms, but you got to learn that Jesus is your Savior, not just of your soul, but of your entire life and your tribulations. He can do it. So here he is, and he puts it all together, and he turns it around. He makes a profit on selling the farm. A couple of years later, the economy got better. Don't forget, this was toward Depression times. And he does it. He does what nobody else around him did. And that's the miracle here. And this is the point of never, ever letting storms put you down and put you on hold. You just keep going. And he did. And Robert Schuller now, okay, it finally came to him. He's got a book. Tough Times Never Last. So what does he do? He writes it. It's a bestseller. Okay. And then he goes how it all came about. He goes and he talks to a convention of farmers. He's got a story to tell now of survival. These poor guys are suffering the economy and all, and he, believe it or not, encouraged them to the point where they left that auditorium ready to go.
It is amazing how God takes a disaster and will actually turn it around, and the benefits and the good that comes out of that. It's just amazing to watch.
Yeah, you can't, and we've seen it in our own lives. We've seen it time and time again, and that's why we're on the air. We're trying to tell you, folks, it works. Do not give up. It works in the worst of times. It works in the best of times. It's there for you all the time. This is Tony
and Laureen Giorgio
saying you have a blessed day. Keep dancing in the rain. Jesus is your umbrella.
You can become a Living with Victory Ministries patron with a monthly donation of $5 or more. Simply go to livingwithvictorync.org and look for the donate button. That's livingwithvictorync.org. Thanks for listening.
There's a